Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Hazy here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. Boy, what a great time in comics. These days there's lots and lots of great things to talk about. I know you're probably looking for Metal number 3, but I'm going to start with the Marvel guys today. Let's talk a little Marvel Legacy. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 789. The return to greatness, the return to its original numbering of Marvel's biggest and best title. This book's been really good for a long time, actually, so it doesn't really need much help. Alex Ross covers great stories, a lot of stuff going on, but like all this Marvel Legacy stuff, if for some reason you've been holding out on Amazing Spider-Man, this is your welcome back to the old webhead, to some classic Peter Parker stories. That's going to be one of the big books today, but there's going to be lots of them. This is Despicable Deadpool number 287. Again, a return to the original numbering, what it would have been if this guy had kept his title going all along instead of the constant renumbering they've been doing. Everybody loves Deadpool. This one's probably already on your list, so that doesn't need much help. But there's more than just original numbering. This is Falcon number 1. This is one of my all-time favorite heroes back in his own book. He had his own mini a long time ago. He's been Captain America for a long time, but now he's back as the Falcon. My man Sam Wilson. This is a new number 1. So Marvel Legacy has books returning to their original numbers. They have new titles like this launching. They have titles like this. This is Defenders number 6, which is keeping its regular old numbers, but this is a first issue jump-in point for you. So there's, jump-in points with original numbers. There's first issues. There's books that just keep on going that have new jump-in points for all those folks watching the Defenders show. Or like this one, all new Wolverine, keeping its regular numbers, but has a new part 1 for you to jump into, like Gwenpool does, like Uncanny Avengers does. I really dig this Uncanny Avengers. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of the A-Team. This brings back one of the great duos of comics, Wonder Man and the Beast. If you go back to the 70s and 80s like I do, you have lots and lots of comics of these guys teaming up and having a good time. Oh my stars and garters. This is X-Men Blue. This is part 2 of the new Marvel Legacy thing rolling out. Great time to be an X fan. You'll want to grab X-Men Blue number 12 for the first part to this. Like I say, good time to be an X person. And then some of the Marvel books just keep on rolling. Here's some of those ladies of Marvel everybody loves, like Miss Marvel, like Hulk, soon to be once again known as She-Hulk. This is the last issue of this one, and She-Hulk gets her original numbering with the next issue. Really been a fan of that title. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, taking on Ultron. Contrary to popular opinion on the internet, this book will keep on going, so all you Squirrel Girl fans, you're not losing your favorite title. Daredevil. Like Hulk, Daredevil will be returning to its original numbering very soon. This is your last issue and last part of the last arc. Again, this book has been really solid. Daredevil's been one of my favorite Marvel titles for a long, long time. Keep some of their best talent on that book. Weapon X and Rocket round out your main Marvel stuff. Look how sad he is on that cover. Little trash raccoon. Runaways is your Marvel TV Stars book, along with Defenders, unless you count Inhumans, Marvel's latest and greatest TV stars. And Star Wars Dr. Aphra is your Marvel Movie Stars book of the week. Lots of great Marvel stuff to talk about. But the book you've been waiting for, and I've made you wait, is this one. This is Metal number 3. Dark Knight's Metal number 3 more specifically. Can't say enough about this title. Easily the biggest thing in comics. All this Rebirth stuff has been really huge. This is the first big event book. Look at the cool metallic sheen. There's 3 or 4 other covers to this, but that's the one everybody's going to want. But it's Legacy Week. No offense to Marvel. I always like to talk about Action Comics. This is your lenticular Action Comics. The Oz Effect keeps rolling. We've got the lenticulars for the previous 2 or 3 issues. Much like everything else in DC, can't say enough about this title. If you're not reading the super books, you're really missing out on a lot of great stuff. Doomsday Clock is right around the corner, so You're going to want to know what's going on in all this stuff. Action, Detective, and Wonder Woman round out the greatest trinity in comics. The 3 books that started it all. But it's also a big super week. This is Supergirl, DC's big TV star, along with Flash and Arrow and seemingly endless number of others. Superwoman and New Superman are your super books besides Action. As I say, it's a great time to be a super fan. You should have one or all of these books on your list if you don't already. Justice League of America is one of your many team books this week. This is Batman's team. Suicide Squad, Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, Red Hood and the Outlaws, starring one of my favorite guys, Bizarro. They've been doing a lot with Bizarro in this book lately. Good stuff. This one might be flying under your radar, but if you're a Bat fan, you might want to be picking up Red Hood and the Outlaws. That's good stuff. Flash. Again, one of DC's many TV stars. This book is red hot. Can't say enough about Flash. If you're watching the show, you definitely want to be picking up the book. And Hal Jordan is your Green Lantern book of the week. Hal is, of course, my favorite Lantern, but everybody has a different favorite. Want to be talking about this guy. This is Mr. Miracle number 3. I know almost everybody picked up 1 and 2. This is probably on your list. If for some reason you don't know what this book is, you have to grab this book. You can read more about it in our newsletter. You definitely want to grab that number 1. Mr. Miracle is one of my all-time favorite characters, one of the great Jack Kirby creations from DC, and they're just doing a stellar job with this title. Can't say enough about it. Don't want to say too much, don't want to give much away, but grab that first issue, grab all 3 of these. Treat yourself to one of the best books out there these days. Gotham City Garage is a new title, sort of like DC Bombshells. They've taken one of their toy and statue lines and built a whole universe around it. This one's got Harley Quinn. Everybody loves Harley. And Ragman is your other DC number 1. If you don't know who Ragman is, pick up this title because he's one of the more unique characters in comics. And last but not least is Scooby Apocalypse, because there's always something coming from the DC guys that's not Rebirth or superhero related. Love all their Hanna-Barbera stuff. Great week for DC. Good week for all the other guys too. You know, I never miss a chance to talk up some Hellboy or Mike Mignola. The great job he does with the BPRD and Abe Sapien and Lobster Johnson and everything else he does. This is Hellboy in the BPRD 1955. Good stuff. And this is Gru, Play of the Gods. Couldn't wait for the all ages section of the video. Had to tell you about Gru during Dark Horse because this is Sergio Aragonis. And I never miss a chance to talk about Sergio Aragonis. One of the greatest talents in all of comics, one of the greatest talents in all of entertainment. You gotta love some Gru. Good week for the Image guys too. Wicked and Divine is probably your Image book this week, unless you've been waiting for Kingsman number 2. You love the movie, you love the first book. This is the second issue of the second series. Still got a couple of copies of the first issue if you get here fast. And Black Science is my Image book of the week because I love this title. If you've ever spent any time in this store, I have probably tried to get you into Black Science. Pick up the Image First $1 reprint of the first issue of this, or grab that first trade paperback. One of the best sci-fi titles out there. And Divided States of Hysteria is my other Image book, because this is by Howard Chaykin, one of the most demented and twisted people in comics, but I love you. Chaykin is all-time great. If you like the messed up stuff, anything from him is your kind of book. My Greatest Adventure is my Dynamite book this week because it's got John Carter, the Warlord of Mars, one of the greatest action heroes of all time. Kull the Eternal is my IDW book this week because you might not know much about Kull. Kull is one of those great barbarian guys. If you like barbarian action, you want to check this out because Conan and Red Sonja just ain't enough. And Fighting American is my Titan book of the week. You probably don't know much about the Fighting American, but like Mr. Miracle, he's one of the great Jack Kirby creations going all the way back to the Golden Age. Now he's with Titan. Really great to see him back in comics. And a huge week for the all ages stuff. You know, I'm always encouraging you guys to have an all ages title on your list. This is the Archie Halloween special. Also, always talking up the great stuff that Archie's doing these days, like Your Pal Archie number 3. Mostly I'm talking about the stuff that they are doing that's not all ages, but this is the sort of refreshing of their all ages stuff as well. You can grab issue 1 and 2. I love Archie. I love everything that they're doing with Archie and Betty and Veronica, the horror stuff, the all ages stuff. It's a great time to be an Archie fan. Guardians of the Galaxy from the Marvel Universe all ages stuff. Maybe you didn't know that Guardians has an all ages book, so if you got a little one at home that loves the Guardians, you can check that out. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Goes all the way back to your childhood. Everybody loves some Scooby-Doo. And Walt Disney rounds out the all ages stuff this week. So I'm always talking about what a great job they're doing with the Disney stuff. Everybody should have a Disney title on their list with Mickey or Donald or DuckTales or some such. Great week for the all ages stuff. Great week from all the different publishers. So make sure you check those shipping lists. Get down to your shop, pick up something super awesome. Want to mention that the Black Cat Comics Halloween Spooktacular is October 28th and 29th. That's the Saturday and Sunday. Get down here that day and get some free swag. If you're in costume, take advantage of all the Halloween fun stuff. And make sure you come back Sunday for the swap meet. We got the super spectacular Black Cat Comics swap meet Sunday the 29th, and that's always fun. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at blackcatcomics.biz. Check us out at Facebook. Check out our cool YouTube channel. Check out our podcast at soundcloud.com. Or just get on down here to Rockin' Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.